is going on, everybody? This is Copy801, and I would like to thank you all so much for your patience. I will run down the chat in a few moments, but this is episode 20. Who would have thought I'd be able to get 20 people on my channel? Who would have thought 20 people would actually want to go on my channel, first off? But this is episode 20. And, excuse me, we've been through a lot. We've done a lot. And we've had difficulties sometimes, tonight included. But, you know, instead of talking about the unfortunate things, let's talk about the really cool things. And for the first time on my channel, I've got some really cool people. You should all know them. If you do not, this is your chance, because they are completely awesome people from a very faraway land called Alaska. And with that being said, we have Lou and Amy from Aegis Comics of Alaska.
Hey.
Sorry for being late. It's like only 5:45 in Alaska, and it's like the most perfect fall day ever here, so that's our bad. Wasn't even that. It was actually our computer was being a dick, but, you know, there's that.
I mean, when it comes to that, there was a stream for TiVo, for Lords of the Longbox, where his computer was doing that too. Like, he tried to reset his StreamYard to actually get in, and it took 20 minutes.
And we were trying to live chat with this dude, and then it was no bueno. And then I was like, all right, we're done. So yeah, we just restarted everything. And that's me. If I can't turn it off and then turn it back on again, I'm out of ideas. That's like where I end on my, well, it's broke.
I mean, I could literally see you looking at something with this expression on your face.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's me.
Just kind of looking at life like, well, shit, this is what happened now, doesn't it? This is my life now, but that's okay.
I get
because
that.
You're here.
I get that. I feel that actually in the dark black soul that I have. I get that.
Oh, God.
What matters is you are here in spite of all the difficulties, and I thank you so very much. Very much.
I apologize again. I'm sorry we were late, but we're here now. Let's do this.
Exactly. And before we start doing this, I can't go all the way to the top of StreamYard because that's how the comments work, you know.
I know, right?
But let's going down from the top. We got Phil.
Good old Phil.
Good old Phil. We got Hoarders Hide. What is going on there, dear sir? We have Something Wong.
What up?
Coming over here. And I will be seeing Something Wong at New York Comic Con.
Oh, is it really happening?
Weeks. It is happening. They have come out with the exhibitors. They came out with the vendors. They got a whole bunch of big celebrities lined up. They got a whole bunch of little guys lined up. And you can reserve your panels now. So if anybody's going to New York Comic Con, keep that in mind. And they still have tickets available.
Wow. I am surprised.
Wow.
Okay.
They did
Arctic Comic Con couldn't get it together. But New York Comic Con. Wow.
Well, they had a big ticket dump, they had a big ticket dump last week because they finally realized they were going to be able to go. And so they had restrictions originally. You know, they were only going to do like X as the capacity.
Right.
But then the city was like, okay, everybody who needs to go to indoor events needs to be vaccinated. So Comic-Con was like, okay, we're going to dump like 50% of our capacity right now.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
A lot of people snatched those tickets up, myself included. And another person in the chat also got their tickets. I'll get to them in a moment, but we got Sheena. What is going on, Sheena?
What up, girl? Hey.
How are you? We got Magic Lasso hanging out. What is going on, dear sir? Always good seeing you. We have Rudy.
Uncle Rudy. This is my boy
Uncle
right there.
Rudy right over here. And this is the guy who also got tickets too.
What's going on, Shadow Rabbit?
My boy right there.
Mr. Lewis.
Lou. I mean, obviously I got a thing for Lou's, so, you know, there's that.
Hey-oh.
Hey.
And let's see, we got Danime.
Okay.
Exetera. What is going on there, dear sir? How are you? Let's see who else. We got Batmite in the chat too. Hello, fellow DC lover.
Is that a winner from our giveaway yesterday? I don't remember the names of everyone that won yesterday.
no,
Sorry, we did
no.
our 1K giveaway last night. I'm trying to remember the names of everyone that won. So
I remember that was really, you gave away some good shit.
yeah, we got
It
more
was-
stuff. We're gonna do the drawings for the grand prizes next week. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh boy. All right, everybody, you heard it here.
Yeah, go find that video and go put in hashtag Aegis 1000 and you can be entered to win some pretty cool slabs. We got 3 of them.
Speaking about slabs, we got J2 in the building.
The Sandwich Maker Supreme.
Oh yeah, I saw
Oh,
that
yeah.
sandwich today. That shit looked fucking delicious. I
I
want
mean,
a
who
sandwich.
doesn't love a good Sammy? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, right. We got Tylox the Mighty. What is going on, dear sir? He's I forget where he came from. He came from another channel. I'll remember
right on.
later.
Welcome. What up?
We got Glenn.
Glenn, he's like
Always.
the homie that's always hanging out with us. Like Glenn, we appreciate you, dude. Like you the homie.
And he's overseas too.
Yeah, like him and Sith are like always like chilling in the chats. Like they are like your constants. You know they're gonna be there. Like the North Star.
Oh yeah. This is where Batmite got it. She won on Spine Ticks when you guys were
That's
on.
what it was. Okay, I was like, why is that name so familiar? I also may or may not have been drinking last night, so there's that. My bad.
Speaking about familiar names, we have Chinmo.
Chinmo.
Mr.
Nobody
Chinmo.
says that actually. Like nobody says Chinmo anymore. Like nobody says it like that. Like if someone said it that way, we'd all look at him and be like, "What?
New guy.
Newbie,
I've
baby
seen
white
this,
guy."
I
was
see
a
this
name
guy
I came up
sometimes. Oh my god. I think I saw him at Terrificon. I was like, Chinmo. He's like, hey, copy. Like, and then hello. Oh,
Damn.
hold on. He's a mayo master.
Oh, let's get our condiments right here, people.
Yeah,
I
right.
Now
said-
I'm getting hungry.
I said that specifically. I'm gonna make you hot dogs for dinner again, so don't get excited.
And we have Lon
You have beans?
Espinoza.
No, we're not going that trailer trash.
Make
I like
spam
beans.
dogs.
Beans, the magical fruit. We're not gonna sing that song.
Oh boy. Beans. Oh shit. Now she.
Oh, where's
Oh.
Forge?
Oh, where's Forge? Comic Forge was in here.
We saw Comic Forge in here.
He was.
He
Yeah.
was. He was up just a little bit.
There we go.
There he is.
There we
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna be
Hey,
honest.
what's your name? That's a thing with him and I. We just yell that at each other all the time, just in case anyone was wondering. I don't just like I know his name, Obvi, but like we do that.
I think it's a New York thing to do that too.
You just yell at one person or another all the time. It's a total New York thing. I'm married to a New Yorker. We just yell randomly. It's just what we do.
Oh yeah, it's like, hey, get over here, come here. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Have a nice fucking day. You know,
like, no, you have a nice fucking day.
exactly.
Then you start fighting and you start
Yeah.
like, you know.
And then you're like, all right,
fisticuffs.
well, like, peace be with you and also with you. Get all Catholic on him.
Well, speaking about Catholic,
Oh,
That was you brought the Catholic up with a quickness.
Oh, well.
I got all sorts of memes for everything.
Well, you
have a
still got the
moment-
Chewy box up there. So, you know, I mean, that thing's never going to go.
I mean, at this point, it's literally a staple.
Really, it is. Like, if you got rid of it, people would get weirded out.
It's kind of like your intro. Like every time for a minute, we just see you guys like, you know,
Yeah, we got to keep it going.
It's like my one cardio for the day.
and
up,
there we
Glenn?
go.
Yay. Hi,
There he
guy.
goes. Yep, Shinbo is right. We waited to see Joe Giela at Terrificon when everybody and their fucking mother. This pisses me off. PSA right now. If you're gonna go to a guy who's like, I'd say 70 years old or over, don't have him sign 20 fucking things. Have him give him like 5, maybe 7. That's it. Because this guy, this is how he signs.
Oh, no.
Guy came up, I swear to God, had every fucking DC archive edition. He had the Flash. He had the Flash. He had Green Lantern. He had All-Star comics. He had other All-Star comics. He had an omnibus. And I'm looking at this guy like everyone's just fucking, if looks could kill, this guy would have died 50 times over.
Well, at least your guys' con had comic book creators there. I just saw a post today. Oh, and I cannot remember the name of who it was. They were complaining about a con in Dallas, I believe, where there was like the con itself didn't bring in any comic book content, and there was only like 2 vendors who had brought comic books, and they were saying how the 2 vendors, their prices were super inflated, and what a bummer it was. And that's kind of one of the things that like we have talked about a lot. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at Art at Comic Con in any way, shape, or form, but facts are facts. Even though you guys Dallas Fan Con. So even though, you know, you guys pushed yourself out into the spring again, we just had Archon in June. I'm just saying, I'm not bitter, but I am. All of their stars that they had lined up, there wasn't one comic book creator. There's a WWE wrestler, which, don't get me wrong, it's Kevin Nash, who's my cousin because my maiden name is Nash. So I just tell everyone he's my cousin. I don't know if we are or not, but I just say it. You know, there's one of the colored Rangers from whatever. And then I don't even know. I don't remember. Oh, the Black Ghostbuster. Like that was like their lineup for a Comic Con.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't have any artists?
Well, that would be a fan con.
Yeah, that's a fan con. Call it what it is. Call it a fan con.
Don't use Comic Con for non-comic book stuff.
So to answer your question, Hoarders Hide, our con that we host focuses primarily on comic books and comic book content. We did a mini con this summer, and we brought up 3 different artists with artist allies. We had Everett Otto from 3 Men in a Basement. We had 12 different comic book vendors at our little mini con, 12 different comic book vendors that also had collectibles, toys. We had people that did like the card things, the like magic, whatever cards, those things, the dice, the gamers. We had all of that stuff at our mini con. And, you know, Copy, I know you watched a lot of our live videos and all the stuff that Otto did. Like, our goal and what our passion was that Comic Con. Now, I'm not saying that it's not awesome to have like the Black Ghostbuster, like homie looks cool as shit. Like, he does. And I'm so happy that like you were on the original. I love the Ghostbuster movies from growing up. Like, those are a staple in my world. But if he signed like a Ghostbuster comic, which I don't even know if there is a Ghostbuster comic. Don't hate me. Don't hate me.
How do you not know that?
Because I just started reading comics in 2019. So don't hate me that there's a Ghostbuster and I don't know.
Like, you've seen a million of the
Ghost Rider
versus
Transformer. Yeah, those ones. But I meant like
Ghostbuster comic
I meant the
book,
ones from the 80s. Like, is there ones from the 80s?
Probably.
I was thinking from like when those movies were. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking from like when those movies were. Like, if he signed your book, would it raise the value? Or if you got Clayton Crane, or if you got Jiang to come up, him signing your books, those would raise the value. Mainly because we can do signature witnessing. So there's that too. But Kevin Nash can't do that with WWE. Like, I know there's WWE comics, but he can't.
He has one comic book. That's it.
But you know, that's I feel like we try to do that whole like B and C list for celebrities. And
guys
that's great for a certain aspect of a con. I think that's wonderful for a certain aspect of a con, but not the totality.
It was Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, thank you. But not for the totality of a comic con.
No.
If you're going to have a comic con, if you're going to call it that, you need to have comic book creators. I don't care if it's a writer, if it's an artist, if it's a penciler, if it's a colorist. Have someone that contributes to those stories in some way. because you're losing the essence of what your con is, in my humble opinion, on my soapbox. And I'm brand new to this shit. I didn't read a comic book until he told me he wanted to open a shop. So I don't even know.
Well, you see, that is, well, first off, I have another one.
100%.
And here's the thing. You guys are comic shop owners. You've done a con. It was extremely successful. You had Otto there as 3 Men in a Basement, as kind of like, you know, the YouTube comic book community representative. He did a lot of different stuff. And when you guys put it together, I know Alaska is a bit of a challenge to travel for some people, but you got people there that were comic related. You had creators, you had artists, you had vendors that sold a lot of books, and everything was reasonably priced. You had giveaways, you had mystery boxes, you had all these different things. And just all of that, you know, honestly, credit to you guys for doing that. This was your first really big thing that you did, other than open up the second shop. What you just did, we'll talk about that a little later. But, you know, you started in 2019, and then 2021 hits, and you're like, fuck, let's make a convention. It's like, well, fucking okay.
Why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
And first one you did, knocked it right out of the park. It was awesome.
Thank you.
It was very awesome.
And as a side note, if anyone needs like a hype man or like the ultimate MC, just hit up Otto from 3 Men in a Basement. Homie will just do all of it for you. You don't even got to worry about it. Everyone that came to that con, Sean Anderson, Ben Harvey, Mike Provo, Artist Allies, the group as a whole was absolutely wonderful. All the vendors, but Otto was so integrated in every single vendor person, us, everything. And he hyped every single person up all day, every day for the 2 days that we had it. Like if anyone ever needs a hype man, you just call Otto and he'll show up and he'll do it. And it's fantastic.
And he's such a good guy too. He does like, that's the one thing about him. And he's said this before, he's a teacher. So he's got to have that presence anyway, because he has to be in control of a classroom. So, I mean, to him, it's just like probably his mentality is like, yo, this is just one giant classroom. I got to make certain that they get all this information. And he does such a good job. The swap that took place when you guys went there. Oh
that
my
was so fun.
That was better run than a lot of cons.
Yeah, that swap was phenomenally run.
Oh my God. Just all the vendors, all the people, all the giveaways, all this. It was so much good stuff. And this was like one of their first things that they did, where they're like, yo, we're going to have everyone gather around, because they did little things before, you know, we're going to go under a tent. We're going to get a couple people. This was just, okay, we're going to take over this big ass fucking hair salon that doesn't even belong to be a hair salon.
Right.
And just slam like 20 vendors in there. And it was just phenomenal.
My favorite thing from 2021 so far is if you guys go back and you watch the video where Otto's wife picked us up and took us over to him and we surprised him, and you see the look on Otto's face when he realizes who we are. Because just, you know, we met you there in person, but up until then, we only knew everyone via YouTube. And so I get out of the car, I'm like, excuse me, sir, I'm lost. You know, and I'm, you know, being, you know, this dumb bitch and everything. And he's like, what is happening? Why is this woman getting out of my wife's car? But the look on Otto's face, and Uncle Frank was there. And then to see Roger's face, like of the insane amount of hours that it took to get there, and the coordinating this without anyone knowing, which was the big thing. My favorite thing on the planet is when you watch that video and that minute where Otto realizes who we are. And that pure joy that just came on his face. Like, it was the best thing of 2021 for me so far. It was so much fun. And then to meet everybody, like all these people who we've interacted with, and everyone, like to be able to meet everyone in person, like that was just over the top. Like the icing on the cake, the frosting and everything. It was so wonderful.
Oh God, it was really, really amazing because you guys also set up there. You had your exclusive at the time, and it was just a great gathering of people. It wasn't
Oh,
even
it
like it was
really
a
was.
swap. It wasn't even like it was a true swap. It was just a whole bunch of friends just
And it turned
meeting
into like
each
a
other.
family reunion where we all didn't know we were related, and all of a sudden we all did like those DNA tests and we realized we were related. And like that's what happened at that swap, because like the Butcher showed up, BLC showed up, you guys showed up, Lewis showed up. Like when Lewis found out we were there, you know, like you guys, you know, I know it's not a 2-minute drive for you guys. I know it's a big drive. But for Alaskans, like when you guys like, oh, it's like a 2-hour drive. And I'm like, that's like a Tuesday going anywhere. So, you know, but it was just to be able to meet everyone in person. And then not only that, everyone embrace us. That's been one of the coolest things for me, owning an LCS for someone who never read a comic book, like I said, until 2019, to be a part of this community and to be so just embraced by everyone, who they're like, bitch, you cool as hell. Like, come hang out. Let's go get a drink. Like, all right, like let's all hang out. Let's do this. It's been just insane to have the multitude of connections. And then this connection branches off to this one and this one and this one. And now we have just these amazing connections with all these people all over the world from comic books. Like, how awesome is that? Like, we all love the same commonality and we just are able to have that. Like, I think it's absolutely wonderful. So here I am on your show, like, because of that.
Exactly. And like the fact that everyone has just rallied behind you guys. Like, I remember, I don't know how. I really don't remember how, but I found your channel.
Were we drinking? We were drinking. Well, I was drinking.
Oh no, this is your early days. You had you were at like maybe 100 or 150
wow. So we're super early. Okay.
So this was like super early on. I think you had 4 videos out. You had like 4.
You're one of the OGs. Like, I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. You had like 4 videos out, and I'm seeing this, and it was just like, okay, we're gonna talk about what's coming out next week. We're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna open up this little thing from Diamond. And
yeah, that was when I was really talking out of my ass because I didn't know what the hell anything was, and I was like, yeah. And so like I'm going to say it online and then people are going to know, but whatever. Like, my signature line, like, I love that people are so excited to talk to me. I love that people are so excited to discuss books with me. The problem is that because I'm so new into this, like, I don't know storylines. I don't know, like, my favorite storyline right now is Kanto. Like, that's the one that I make sure I read because I love those little dudes. Like, they're like minions that are cooler. So like when people talk to me and they're just so into it, they really into it. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I know, right? I'm like, did you see the artwork in that book? It's so amazing. Like, that's my line that I say to people when I don't know what the I'm talking about. I'm like, oh my God, the artwork was so great, because like and I don't have the heart to be like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Instead, I just go with, oh, the artwork was so great in that book. And it works every time.
Oh yeah. You talk about the artwork and you're okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still don't know what I'm talking about. I'm still lying, but I'm also saying the artwork in that book is great, which may not be a lie. I just don't know what it looks like, but they know that I'm talking about it. So it works. It works out very well for me.
So what I'm going to do right now is, and I might regret this just a little bit. My first video that I ever watched from you was, I just planted it right now, Diamond vs. Lunar comic books unboxing.
We actually got really good views on that because they're so drastically different.
That was that was the first video that you ever did that hit 1K.
Yep.
and that showed up on my recommended, and I was like, oh wow, this is really cool, guys. Like, this is pretty freaking awesome.
Oh, right on.
And I was like, oh my god. I didn't comment on this one, but I was like, oh, this is really cool, you know. Oh, this is really awesome, you know. I get to see what these things are. And it's like having you guys in this community has literally been, here we go. Yep, 1 year ago in volume 2.
Oh.
First time I commented, I said, greetings all the way from Long Island. I've heard so many rumors about packing from the different companies. Glad you cleared that up. Look forward to future videos.
Oh
and
my gosh, that's so awesome.
And it's from 1 year ago. From 1 year ago. I'm going to do a screen cap really quick.
Yeah. But in case anyone's wondering, if you watch that video, the comparison is still the same. We kind of hoped that us clowning one distributor over the other, that the one would be like, hey, we should up our game.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't. No. But also, there's the big difference, because we did the interview with Christina, who is the owner of Lunar, and she explained that it was such a good interview. God, like, she is one of those people that you just want to sit down and have a drink with, because you know she's cool as shit. Like, she can like chill in any situation. But she realized quite quickly, by not hiring people that have no idea what comic books were, the potential of damage is so much greater. Now, the reasoning, the other distributor, because technically I'm not allowed to talk crap. It's like in our contract, we're like not allowed to talk shit, so as long as I don't say the name. So the other contractor specifically doesn't hire people that know anything about comics, because their thought process is it'll cut down on theft.
Now, you see, that's a major issue, especially for someone like you who owns a shop, because even now you'll vent about, I got this book from them, I got a whole box, and there's this really, really valuable book that's all the way at the bottom, or it's all the way at the top.
That Mickey Mouse, the first appearance of Mickey Mouse on a Marvel comic book with the birthday cake, the Marvel 1000.
Mm-hmm.
That was in a box with a hardcover book that was drastically different in size. There was no bubble wrap. By the grace of God, it was not damaged. I will give them credit that they did bag and board that one book. But here's the big difference between Lunar and the other guy. Lunar will bag and board their ratio variance, and they will also let you know what their ratio variance is. As an LCS owner, okay, so again, caveat to, I am new to this whole entire game, so my outlook on things is probably different than a lot of others. But as an owner, yes, also not wrong. But I just found out that that's an inappropriate saying. I thought it meant just like a good time, like a good time. I didn't realize that it meant like a good time. I learned that. Oops, my bad. So, ratio variants, I have a love-hate for those. I think ratio variants are really wonderful. But especially for smaller shops like ours, and for certain people that are like, I want the 1 in 200. Okay. I'm not going to push $200, dude. So I can't get the 200.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they want the 1 in 200 for like $12.99. Huh. No.
No, that carries.
No.
You have to spend literally at cost $200.
$200 at our cost at a minimum. And then I got to hope that I'm going to push some of those, which at our shop, let's even on the big side of things, I might be able to push 50 copies. The only thing that I think I could spend like 50 copies or more of would have been Berserker #1 and Moon Knight #1. Those are the only two books. And the new Spawn kind of, but still not even 50 of like one thing to be able to qualify for some of these ratio variants. And so for people that like want us to get these ratio variants and want us to do these things, it's like, okay, if you want the ratio variant, I need you to pay what it's going to cost for us to order these $200. Now, real comic book collectors, real in the know people understand when we come to them. I'm like, yo, homie, I appreciate you. I really wish. Here's like, I was only going to order like 5 of these. So if you really want that 1 in 200, you're going to have to order 150. And that's going to be your cost on top of the ratio variant, you know, and like all of those other things. And that's what I have a love-hate. Like, I'm not Midtown. I'm not ordering, you know, 1,000 books of something and for people to think that our little LCS, you know, that we're going to be able to do that. And then on top of that, we'll give you a good deal. We had one dude who stiffed us with over $1,000 of a pull list, over $1,000 in his pull list.
Oh, that's painful. That is very painful.
We would not give him our distributor prices on ratio variants.
That's ridiculous because ratio variants are just that. They are a variant that you get for buying.
Because he had such a big pull list, we should just give it to him for this. And I was like, I have to pay my staff. I have to pay the rent. I've got to pay the electric, like the internet, like all of these things. Like, homie, I appreciate that you have such a big pull list. Thank you. But I still gotta charge you, like, and that here's the fucked up part of that. He was still getting 20% off.
So he was getting 20% off plus.
But that wasn't enough. Yeah.
Now you see that's insane. That is absolutely insane because a ratio variant is just
and people don't understand a small shop like us. Yeah, and a small shop like us stiffing us with $1,000 of a pull list, that's a big deal. We're not like, I don't know if people understand, like, we don't get these books on consignment. We have to pay for them up front. And especially in Alaska, like, because we're talking about owning a shop up here, we have to pay for shipping twice because they do not ship directly to us in Alaska. So we have to pay to have it shipped to LA. And then in LA, it gets put on a plane that gets shipped up to us. And because of COVID, I have to pay for priority. So not only am I paying for shipping twice, I have to pay for priority shipping. So that takes already a gigantic slice of whatever profit I was going to make on these books out just to get them up here in the first place. Because
that's crazy.
New books are wonderful. New books brings people in the door. New books do not keep a shop open. They do not keep a shop open. New books, you don't make the profit off of them. Your profit is off of your back issues. It's off of people going through those. And so like we ourselves in our shop, we're shifting because we're just not going to have as many books on the shelves. We're just back issues because it's too costly for us.
Yeah, but back issues, in my humble opinion, are the actual core of any shop. If your shop doesn't have back issues, they're not the real comic book shop.
Yeah.
Don't even try to argue with me about it. I'm not talking to you, Copy, but to the audience. If there's anyone in the audience that believes otherwise, you don't know anything about comic book shops operating one. The back issue bins, if I announce that I have a long box from a collection I just purchased and I announce to everyone, or Kevin announces to everyone, or Olivia, hey, it's in the showroom right now. First come, first serve. Pick whatever you want, for $2, whatever.
Oh, they come flying.
People will leave work early and haul ass there.
It's a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, but if I tell them, hey, we got the new Spawn or we got the new Spider-Man, I'll get there when I get there.
Throw out my pull box. Maybe I'll pick it up
It's not the same
week.
excitement.
Yeah.
It's not the same excitement. Back issue bins always. That's why our mentor really pushed that on us. And then when I went to a couple of shops in Oregon, I want to say Excalibur is the only real shop in Portland, Oregon. They're the oldest shop. It's run by the daughter now. The shop, by the way, I 100% recommend that shop. If you're a comic collector at any level, you want to go there. The way they have Excalibur.
Excalibur, that's right.
And the new shops, which were like the really trendy shops, none of them had back issue bins. They all just referred you to Excalibur to get your back issues. And a lot of the new shops were also gaming shops.
Well, that's where they're able to make their money, is the gaming.
And you can make money in gaming.
100%.
Until you have a pandemic of some kind that closes
That people can't
social
come to
distancing
game, yeah.
and that kind of stuff, and then gaming shops are just as much trouble, if not more. Whereas with the comic shop, the back issue bins, what kept us going during the pandemic, we were able to do mystery boxes. We were able to
I remember
float that
those.
stuff online, you know?
Right.
We
And Uncle Rudy, I know exactly what you're saying. One of the really cool things, especially for kids, is is it Scout Comics? Scoot?
Oh yeah,
Scoot
yeah.
prices their comics appropriately, especially they're and they're all age appropriate. And what I really love is how appropriately priced they are, because they know it's going to be like a toddler that's reading this. So spending $7 on a book that they're going to probably tear apart, they're not going to do. So they price their books, $2-3, or a bigger book. Like we have that one really big book from them, but it's a big book and it's $9.99.
Yeah, but that book, what I liked about the newest one, so it's like magazine size. It's almost tear proof.
Yeah,
right?
it's almost and like a mom and I were discussing this because she was going to buy it for her 4-year-old, and her and I were talking about it. I said the reason I would be okay with spending $9.99 on this is I said look at the cover, and we were
durable.
like, and us moms are looking at this, like, oh, he can't just like rip it in half, and da 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 da. Compared to like some of those other ones where the paper is so thin, like of course a toddler's going to be like rip.
So with that being said, along those lines, for new books, if I had to choose between I'm about to go bankrupt and I can only make one choice, the new Venom series or a new series from Scoot, people are going to think I'm insane. I'm doing the new kids book. The reason I say that is the hardcore collectors are coming for the back issues anyway. I need to get the new collectors on board and addicted to comic books. And what's the best way to do that is with a good gateway book, like one of these books that are designed for the kids right now. Now, I've heard on several shows and on several documentaries, there's a lot of shop owners that, are in that bracket of age 35 to 55, a little bit older, that believe that it's not our job to recruit the new generation. We should just sell to that bracket of collectors from age 35 to 60, let's call it, right? But at one point or another, that's going to diminish, and you're going to need new readers. Which is why the shops that are really invested in this have been petitioning these publishers to put out more kids books. Marvel does a very decent job with the IDW line. IDW 9 out of 10 times is going to be an all ages book with very few exceptions. Scoot was a dream child. I mean, that was fantastic.
So great.
Especially since they're coming from the superior distributor, Lunar, right? Because I know that not only are we going to get the books, but they're not going to be damaged. I mean, granted, there's some hiccups with Lunar right now, but we're working on that. But the in Penguin, I'm keeping my fingers crossed right now. Which, if somebody out here in the industry knows, because I haven't asked that question yet, from Penguin. Penguin has the Marvel contract. I don't know if by default they're going to get the IDW contract now. No one's talked about that because IDW has that exclusive with them where they'll distribute like the Marvel actions and all the buddy ones. I want to know, are they going to be doing IDW too? Because let me tell you something. It's getting to the point. So here's an insider scoop on this. Penguin ships to us for free. That's unheard of.
Thank you. I had to mute myself for a second. I heard about that they do ship for free. And that's
Alaska.
And directly to our shop.
Game changer.
That's a game changer.
Huge.
If I could get them to pick up maybe one more publisher, I think I could take the hit and be like, you know what? We're not carrying anything else but whatever Penguin and Lunar carry. That's it. We're done with Diamond. I see it happening because we were just on the Comic-Con podcast with Nemesis Prime. And I want to say it was either him or Manimal were saying that their shop has gone away from all the other publishers.
Mhm.
They're only carrying the publishers that come from those two distributors.
And I don't blame
And-
them. Now I get it.
Well, there's a reason why 9/8. I didn't understand this at the time. I really didn't, because I'm old school. I'm 51 years old. There wasn't numbers back in the day. In the 1970s and 80s,
There
it wasn't.
a census.
No, I'm saying there wasn't a 1 and a 10. It was, your trash, fine, very fine, good, near mint, and gem mint, right? There was no number. But I finally understand Diamond, through their carelessness in shipping, has spiked the value of 9/8, because a 9/8 is actually very rare to get, depending on
what the worker is that day, throwing books in a box. That's just like, I hate my life.
Some people,
I hate Alaska. I hate this character. I'm gonna throw all these books in angrily into this box.
They're paying me below.
Yeah.
Yep. They're paying me below minimum wage. I hate this job.
I hate everything.
Well, if
air
you look
sucks.
if you look at the latest studies, like on Amazon, and in particular warehouse environments. Warehouses are some of the worst environments to work in. Now imagine you're working in an industry of collectibles in a warehouse. Are you really going to give a shit? Yeah, are you really going to give a shit?
Nope, you're not going to care.
You're going to toss
that
those
shit
books
right across. You're going to be like, hey, you want to see this new book I got?
Moon Knight. Yeah.
You're going to toss that shit like it's a fucking newspaper and not care.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we haven't tested yet with Penguin, because Penguin's so new to it, I've been very pleased with their shipping, except that I don't know yet how they're going to do ratio variants. Lunar, with any variant that's a ratio or some type of special edition variant, they will bag and board the book. It will be clearly labeled that this is what it is, right? Diamond does not do that. Diamond will throw a 1 in 1,000 at the bottom of a box with a bunch of Overstreet guides on top of it. Which is insane.
I had that happen with. There are very, very few amount of books. I get mostly DC. I'd say my pull list is about 80% DC, 20% independent. Out of those independents, I get one ratio, and that is Star Trek Year 4. I get the 1 in 10s.
Okay.
And the shop I go to near me had the 1 in 10s. And he ordered like 20 copies. 2 of them came in. They were damaged. The one thing that I wanted, the one thing I got, damaged. So you know what they did? They took the hit, gave it to me exactly as you said, because they'll bag and board it themselves. No bag. They gave it to me. No bag, no board. I wondered why it was damaged. I look in the back of the book, and the crease you get in the back of a book when something heavy and thick is on top of a book that's not, you get that nice line. Just going like that. I looked at the back cover, I saw that, I'm like, well, fuck.
I want to get a hidden video of their warehouse. I bet you them cats are out there sword fighting with ratio variants.
Probably.
They're LARPing. They're LARPing with D23 exclusives that they have extra over there.
They're doing that game where they try to toss it in the trash can, they're both sitting in the seat next to one another and they're just both trying to toss it in. So.
Real quick on a happier note. Mr.
Jay Salsa, 100%. You and I have talked about doing artwork and stuff before. Absolutely. 100% I want your stuff in my store. Send it.
We're about that life.
Send it.
About that life.
Okay. I need to know something real quick.
Yes.
Because I always just say it inappropriately. What is your cat's name?
Her name is Gray.
Gray? Okay. Because I usually just say your pussy, so I figured I should actually know her name.
I mean, that's right, too.
I mean,
But
it's not wrong.
you're not wrong, but
I was like, Lou's looking at me. He's like, God dang it. And he's like, they're going to age restrict the show.
listen, I need to do a 250 sub thing because I finally hit the milestone, but I am nowhere near monetized. You can curse, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
No, don't. And you know what?
Well,
like,
you know what I mean.
I mean, hey,
You know, they've been talking
what's
about
up?
that. I've been talking to oh God. I've been talking to some of the more successful YouTubers and watching some of the information they're putting. A lot of them have strayed away from worrying about monetization anymore. They already know that YouTube might screw them over. So what they do is
Yep.
they do like what we've done at a very early start is get sponsors
Mhm.
hmm
and just have the
That's the
sponsors throw the
easiest way to
stuff on
do
there.
it.
Yeah.
Just get sponsors.
Well, like in our new sponsor video that we did, my favorite part is the very end because we were like, we both thought we were going to do it. And it's just, I say we're hysterical and he says we're hilarious.
No,
We both,
wait, yeah.
I say hysterical and you say hilarious. And so like we both say it at the same time. And so it's just like this mashup of crazy. But I love our sponsorships because there are people that believed in us from a very early on time. Like of all things, yesterday at the shop, Michael Ray came running down, the guy who's done the pictures of me and he's done pictures of, you know, a bunch of different things. Came running down the shop because he knew I was there. He's like, I have to show you this picture I just took. He was so excited about it. It was this beautiful, but yet horrific, beautiful. It was a Jason type of like very murder-y, which is also my jam. You know, Halloween theme. And just the fact that he ran down to show me because he knew I would be there. And I was like, holy crap. And we were talking about it and just talking about the photo and how cool it was and all this other stuff. Like our sponsors have all been about our come up from the very beginning. Tony with EGS has been a homie from the beginning. You know.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh wow.
I got this at
Thank you.
Terrificon.
Oh my gosh.
That's so cool.
I'm gonna make myself big real quick and
That's what
So,
she said.
hey,
Or what he said. Hey.
I mean, there are people that wouldn't mind if that's what she said, but anyway. This is a recolor of, I believe, All-Star Squadron number 50. From,
That's fantastic.
and it is signed by the man who did it, Jerry Ordway.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
We are not worthy.
So there's a nice
Copy.
recolor over here.
Copy,
So-
after what you did at the swap
There we
for
go.
Lou, like,
Mhm.
dude, you're a homie for life.
Oh
Ah,
yeah.
that's
For
fine.
anyone
Listen,
watching this, no, don't downplay this shit. For anyone that's watching that doesn't know, so we show up to this comic swap, we surprise everyone, and it's the most and truly, honestly, the biggest gift was being able to interact with everyone over there at that swap. Well, Copy, being the dedicated fan that he is, knew that Lou's first run of comics that he had was Alpha Flight. And that happened to be one of the raffle prizes at the con. So what Copy did is bought all of his tickets and put them all in the bag for this Alpha Flight book and won it and then gave it to my husband because he is truly second to none on just being a genuine, wonderful person. And that we talk about that all the time. Like when we talk about our trip, about how cool it was that someone who knew our history from our videos went and did that. Like that was incredible, dude. Like we truly appreciate you more than you could know.
it is absolutely fine because you know what? One thing that I learned, since we're going to talk real for a minute, 2020 was a really bad year for me. It was a very bad year. So just to share this with everybody, I was laid off from my job. And at the time, unfortunately, you know, we had COVID and everything because of that. Early on in April, my mother died from COVID.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm over it now. But at that time, I had to do
you're
that.
never over that, but I get it.
You know what I mean. So that happened, and I was in college, and and unfortunately I had to take the semester off. I told all my professors, I'm like, yo, this is what happened. I can't do anything at all. And they're like, okay, we got you. So I'm laid off from work. My mother died. And I had to get off from college. I had to do a whole bunch of this. I was in a very bad way. I had to take medication for a certain amount of time, all this. And what kept me going throughout all of that, a big part of it, was everyone here on YouTube. It was an escape. I doubled down on my books, and I couldn't even get new books, so I was just reading my old shit. And it was a rough time, but the fact that the whole community was there and it was very accepting, and everybody was just completely awesome. We could talk about stuff, and it was just a place where you can just get away from everything.
Yeah.
These are your problems. This is what's going on here. And after all that happened, I was, and still am, eternally grateful for everybody. Excuse me, you guys included. Because I would watch your videos, I'd see you on other channels, funny as shit. So I would do all of that. And whenever I get a chance to give back and do something like that, like as an example, the other books that were in that lot were the 1 in 25 Boss Logic for the Batman Who Laughs with the red background, the 1 in 25. And the what is it called? It's the Justice League Endless Winter Black Adam special, again from Boss Logic, the B cover.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
So I got those 3 books. I gave you Alpha Flight. The other 2 books, those are my 250 sub giveaway. And they've just been sitting there. They've been sitting in their bags and boards, all nice and neat with their friends,
just hanging out, having a little,
So all that stuff, I don't mind paying it forward because the community is generous. They are awesome people. You guys, of course, included. Major part of the community. Pillars, honestly. You guys, along with Lords, the Defects, 3 Men in a Basement, all of them. Absolutely, like, you talk about people, like, you guys are the ones that come up the most.
Oh,
so
thank you.
That's why pay it forward.
We'll keep doing parodies, and just like last night on Sis show, we did a mystery box, and I had time today. I was able to run and go put it together, and it was fun because we had this short box that we kind of, for when we did our move, we kind of forgot about it. So I was going through it, and I was like, shit, there's some really cool books in here. And so I just kind of grabbed some and I put this mystery box together. Like, it was...
That was karma, man, because I make fun of people for that, and then I did it.
Oh, no. We have... No, and I'm not kidding you when I tell you, in the 2 short boxes, when I was going through them, there's several $1,000 worth of books in these 2 short boxes. I was like, oh, I forgot we have a Red Sonja #1 in here. Oh, I forgot that we have several very special covers of, the ASM 800 and, like all these different things. And, because I don't know what I'm doing. So one of the things that I really love not knowing what I'm doing is I'll just like be online and I'll find these random books and I'll be like, well, that one looks cool. Should I'll buy it? It's at a good price. And he'll be like, do you have any idea what this is? And I'm like, no, it just looked cool. And he's like, this is the videos. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool. Well, it had the really pretty colors on it. So I bought it. So that's like how we work really well together. Like the hip hop covers. I love the hip hop covers. I love hip hop. And so when I was like buying all these, he's like, these are so cool. And I'm like, I know, they're so fun to find. The Do You Poo books. I think those are probably one of my most favorite. I love the parody of Do You Poo. I love that they not only parody Deadpool, but then they'll parody covers of different things. Like, I just absolutely adore it. And so, I totally love ordering those books. And Marat just did one. If people don't follow Marat on social media, He just did one with the DJ Spider-Man.
Yeah, so
And
the Miles Morales cover that everybody lost their minds over, that Iron Man cover B.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Miles Morales DJing. He just did a Do You Poo dressed up like Miles Morales.
Oh, but it is so like
DJing.
and I'm like
Really
looking
good.
at like the two. I'd have picked the Do You Poo one just because to me, not being the like fangirl, because I'm not like into these stories like other people are. I'm like, it's so funny because it's got rabbit on there, you know, like it's, you know, poo, like it's just so fun. And then my buddy from Best Comics, he just did a series and it's called Killer Care Bears. And so imagine like venomized Care Bears.
Oh,
And then he did like an homage to the Ice Cream Man. Do you know the Ice Cream Man one where the guy's sitting there with like the hat on, but he's kind of like his face is all messed up or whatever on like the one half?
Yes.
He did that with Care Bears. And it is such a cool cover. And like they're doing this whole entire run of this book. And it like I'm just
Austin ended up buying all of them.
He bought two of them.
Yeah.
We have two left.
would.
We have two sets left. Yeah.
Oh, that is
and then
hilarious.
there's Austin. Like you own a shop
Mhm.
and no matter how much money you don't make, because if anyone thinks owning an LCS is like some big money maker, you're a fucking liar. You own a shop and you keep it open for kids like Austin, who is hands down, I don't care what kind of day you're having. When Austin shows up, your day just got awesome. Like, not only does this kid have the best humor and also the most amazing inappropriate jokes, which speaks to my soul. Like, he's just happy all the time. He shows up at the shop and he's happy all the time to be able to be in there with us. He's our honorary assistant manager and he holds the title well. And he loves the books. He loves the books. That's the best part of this. It's not that he's just like he legitimately loves these books. And I absolutely love that with that kid.
That
That
kid
is phenomenal.
is 100% YOLO.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And his Deadpool van, like
Mm.
we need to figure out a hashtag like to get it to catch on so that all the channels can use it so that Ryan Reynolds will actually see it. Because
we need
Austin,
Ryan Reynolds to come up and see Austin, man.
Austin, even if he didn't come
Oh
up here
my
to see him, but even if he gave him
God.
a shout out, like if he saw Austin's van, and not only is Austin's van the outside wrapped in Deadpool, like they changed the emblem on the front to a Deadpool emblem. They got customized license plates that have a Deadpool saying. Everything on the inside has been customized to Deadpool. So it's not like it's just like the outside. Like it's not like, it's just like he's Deadpool to the max, which is why he also really likes those Do You Poo books as well, because they're just, super fun.
Of course.
But we're going to have to come up with a good hashtag that's catchy, that's easy to remember, that we can try to get so that Ryan Reynolds will see it. So I don't even need him to show up here. I just need him to shout him out.
If I had the money and I could afford it, I would fly Ryan Reynolds up here
100%.
just for him, just to see his face. Because, that kid's not promised forever, right?
No.
So he's living his life day by day. I mean, and we love him to death. If we could get Ryan Reynolds up here,
and Blake Lively, like
or even
if his
even
wife came up too.
Even stop.
She cute.
Stop taking a sentimental moment and shitting on it.
She's cute.
I mean, you two I could see both of you just going out to drinks together. Honestly.
I know. Her and I would be besties.
I can see that.
Because we clown our husbands, so there's that. So do your sentimental moment. Do it now.
God.
Ryan Reynolds going up to Lou like, so Lou, I heard you got axe throwing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These bitches. These bitches.
We got to get this guy up here, man.
Because he's right.
Be,
yeah. Just 10 minutes.
Yeah, just 10 minutes with Austin. Austin isn't guaranteed a lot of life in this world. And, to be able to give him that. And like I said, I would be just even happy with a shout out or him retweeting something or whatever, the resharing or whatever, like that would be, Austin would lose his ever loving mind and it would be worth every second.
100%.
Every penny that I had to put towards that. Like if I win the lottery, that's what I'm going to do.
That kid lives full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be enough energy for to make it worthwhile, man.
Oh yeah. Well, and when you see someone like Austin who loves these books and who loves to support our shop, like you want to do good things for him. Like you can't help it. You just want to do good things for him because he's a cool kid.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is absolutely phenomenal because, you know, like he literally gets so freaking happy whenever.
Yeah.
Every time you guys send him books, he'd lose it.
God. Street Side Anthony is probably one of his favorite people because Street Side Anthony sent him, and I'm not telling you, like, it wasn't like just a Gemini mailer. I'm telling you, it was a large flat rate shipping box that was packed to the gills of books. And then not only that, when we were at the swap, didn't he give us stuff to give to Austin again?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure when we were at the swap, he said, hey, give these to my buddy when you guys go back home. And he gave us some books for Austin as well. And just like all sorts of just these incredible books. Guy Forge is another one who sent an AOK that had figurines and books just because, you know, they see Austin and they see that the kid that he is, and he's not a kid. I say kid loosely. He's a young man. I'm sorry. You're a young man, honey. If you're watching, you're a young man and a handsome young man. But you know, they see what an awesome force this young man is.
He's running a nonprofit. This kid does more than most able-bodied people can.
Yeah. He has a nonprofit that helps people get medical equipment they can't afford. They just give it to them. They just give it to them.
It's called Austin's Compassionate Exchange. ACE.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because when his accident first happened, he was 6 years old. And, you know, you go through being this, you know, child running around to being a quadriplegic. There was all this equipment that they needed, but insurance and all the, you know, we all know how fun that is to deal with. Mm-hmm. And his mom realized that there was just this need for this for people that couldn't get an insurance to, you know, crutches. Like someone, I'm on, you know, a limited income and I just broke my leg and I really need crutches, but shit, they're $80 at Walmart. Well, she's got them for free. Just come get them. Like Austin and his mom. And I just love that they have that program in place and that we're able to share their information through our platform just because he's a cool kid and he's funny. God dang, that kid is funny. And he has a sense of humor that is so inappropriate that I love. Oh, I love that child. Young man. So.
Yeah.
I just dropped the link from their Facebook page.
Oh, look at you. Look at him finding. All right. Technological one.
Yes. Thank you.
So there is the Facebook page to the charity right over there. If anybody's curious, if anybody wants to do anything.
Yeah.
Charity
if
work
you're in Alaska and you have like random stuff you don't need anymore, like shower chairs and things like that, like they'll take them, they disinfect them, and then they give them to somebody else.
And just to backpedal really quick about Street Side Anthony, he is legitimately, I swear to God, one of the most generous people. On top of the deals that he does, he literally just gives. Like he's so good to people. And it's insane. Mm-hmm. Every time I meet this guy, he's got at least one book. He's like, yo, I found this really cool book I thought you'd like. I'm like, and sometimes it's a good book. Sometimes it's worth a little bit. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, you're just going to give me this for free? Like the joy that this man has towards other people and the joy he gets for helping people is amazing.
The joy he spreads to other people is incredible.
Oh yeah.
He has so I watched him give a book to Mike the Beast. I never say his last name right. I watched a deal go down with them at the comic swap. And Street Side Anthony was like, "Nah, get out of here. Just take it. Get out of here." And
I remember that.
And it was just so incredible to see that. And then we did our mini con, and I put out an all call to a lot of different people and a lot of different channels. And I was like, "Hey, we're looking for sponsors and, you know, donations to a raffle. We're trying to do a raffle, you know, because hosting it, there's a lot of cost involved that we had to pony up. And, you know, we're a small shop. I really wish I could tell everyone I was flossing on everybody, but we're not." And
Fucking Tony. What up, man?
Damn, Tony. Street Side Anthony sent us the most gracious package for our raffle for our show. Books that weren't just little books. They were books that had some worth to them. And I was like, did you mean to send me all of these? Like, I confirmed with him. I was like, did you mean to send me all of these? Or was there, like, if not, it's cool. I'll send some of them back. He's like, oh no, those are all for you. Like, that's the Streets idea. That's what that guy is. And I was overwhelmed. I was truly overwhelmed. I walked up to him. I had like just tears in my eyes. And I'm like, you have to see what Street Side Anthony just sent. And he meant to send us all of this. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. And he will come across Deadpool books and just send them to Austin all the time. Like, that's just, that's the genuine person that he is. And that's one of the coolest things about this community is someone like Tony, and how a guy in New York will send stuff to a kid in Alaska. I mean, you can't get further away than that. And it's just the most incredible thing to watch that.
It's so awesome because both of them deserve so much. And the thing is that bringing it back to you, that connection was made because of you, because of how you showcased him. And then Street Side saw that and just took it to another level. And that is exactly what this community is all about. I know we were supposed to talk about more LCF stuff, but you know what? Sorry. I'm going to look now. I'm looking at this as a celebration on how you have affected the community. How your presence from the beginning to now, you just hit 1K on YouTube, all the skits, all the videos, all the appearances later. And you guys are still going strong. You opened up a second fucking shop, for God's sakes, in a goddamn military base. All right? That's a tribute to you, Lou, and your beginnings and what you've done. So everything has come full circle, and that's awesome. And that's absolutely wonderful. And I really do hope that you guys are able to make it down here for something else.
Terrificon next year is on our list. Like, that is on our list. Terrificon next year. Like, that is definitely on there. I can summarize owning an LCS really quickly in case anyone's curious. I was like, don't do it. Number one, be very gracious with your LCS when it comes to books and titles and things that you want, because we are at the mercy of what we are sent compared to what we are ordered. And unless you are very good at attention to detail when it comes to ordering and being very involved with, every week on, okay, this one kind of hit, that one didn't kind of hit when it comes to new books, unless you're that kind of person, don't do it. Don't do it. We're blessed with the staff that we have. Kevin is a rock star. Olivia is amazing. And those two are the reason we're able to do what we do, because they are the most phenomenal staff that we could have. And the only reason we're able to be like doing, usually before we had them, him and I would be on the computer until 1 o'clock in the morning trying to research books and titles and different things. And with having them, like, you have to find good people to have on your staff.
Take care
of your people.
And your people.
Yeah. You take care of the community and your people. It may not happen right away, but it'll come around and they're going to take care of you.
I would also say that you have to love people to own a shop. You have to love.
You cannot be an introvert that just hates interacting with people.
I mean, we all have that sense of being an introvert sometimes.
Of course.
I know some really good introvert people, but they overcome it with kindness. You have to genuinely love people
and want to talk to them.
And I guess that makes sense, because I understand that people struggle with anxieties and everything else, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to convey to someone that you care about what it is that they're interested in, You may not agree with the title or whatever, but that's not your job. Your job is to try to put a smile on someone's face that when they come into the shop, it's something special that day, because they didn't come to your shop to be reminded about how shitty the world is.
Mhm.
They came to the shop because they were trying to escape said shitty world. And I think that's why we were so honored to host our first little kid's birthday party there.
Oh yeah, we had our first birthday
Oh
party.
yeah,
at-
that's right.
Party there, and that was awesome, man.
That kid was like, that's the only thing he wanted. And the parents reached out to us. They were like, we don't even know if you guys do this, but we promised him we'd ask. And we were like, we didn't know we did this, but we do it now. Because how are you going to say no to a 7-year-old, you know, that wants to celebrate reading books? And literally, that's what they got from us. They got books.
And he's at the
to go
shop
read.
once a week. This little kid.
He don't miss it. And he gets mad
And
if they miss a week.
Bro, they came in dressed up like superheroes. I mean,
So cute.
It was super cute, man.
Did you dress up as One Punch Man?
Yeah, I dressed up as One Punch.
Nice.
Dressed up as
WandaVision.
Scarlet Witch.
Or Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Witch. I mean, it was awesome, man. We had a local baker baked him this badass Superman cake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was an incredible. And she made our wedding cake too. So full disclosure, she's also our friend, but this woman knows how to bake a cake. And it's like, it's one of those like, oh, it's so pretty, but it tastes like shit. No, not with her. Hers not only are so pretty, they're so freaking good. Your birthday cake in particular was so amazing. And it tasted so good that I ate it for like a week afterwards. And I was like, no, it's fine. It's still good.
Yeah. People love her. So, once again, it's just you don't go into a comic book shop business looking to be rich, because that's not going to happen. Could it happen? 100% it could. It can if you manage it correctly and you focus, but you're going to have to weather some significant storms. Yeah, you're going to have to run it. Torpedo Comics makes it work, but I suspect that Torpedo Comics, like many of the people that have become mentors to us in this business, they're fiscally successful because they have other avenues of income. Yeah. It's not, Torpedo Comics at the end of the day.
Statues and stuff that they
and that is one of those few times where location for a comic book shop is critical. He's in Vegas. He's right off the strip. So people, he's in the mall.
I was like, he's a little bit further from the strip, but close enough.
Essentially, if you're visiting Vegas, you win a couple of bucks, it's low risk for you to go there and pay higher prices for things, because you're thinking it's not your money anyway. It's the casino's money, right?
Exactly. And they have their mystery boxes.
Yeah. I mystery box, I'm not too big on with them. Just their collection and the way they treat, like all of their back issues. I mean, they kind of shit on all of it. All of their back issues are double boarded. All of their back issues are double boarded.
Yeah, I really wish I had the largest.
Kind of they had the, but you have also you have a guy who is the drummer for System of a Down as the owner. So you're talking. He already walked into it with several million.
So he's got the capital to take it.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can take that hit.
And he's personal friends with Jim Lee. I mean, they filmed him at. I don't know if he was at Jim Lee's house or Jim Lee was at his house, but I mean, they film little spoof videos. I mean,
but at the same time, he also is a collector, so he gets the hobby. Like, he wasn't just going, I'm just going to open a comic shop because I'm a millionaire. He was like, no, I really love this hobby and I want to open up my extension.
I think my point being is that you have to walk into it with understanding that you're going to have more than just the comic books. Yeah, more than just the comic books. You got to have some type of side, a lot of faith, and
gotta trust in the Lord, because there's been many a days where him and I are like, okay, God, look, I'm just gonna need you to come through today, because
we're not gonna be able to make the rent.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to make this. We're not gonna, and then all of a sudden someone comes in and drops, that $300 we were short,
or a Patreon,
or or things that people don't realize, which is such a huge difference for a small shop like ours. Like, we are. We're a small shop in Alaska, of all things, but We
but
love
it
to
makes
do
it
good.
it makes it worthwhile, man. That's the one thing I will end
We're
my
here to
portion
fight
of
crime.
is that comic book shops will break your heart and make you smile and laugh all in the same day. Daily. Yep. You're sitting there looking at your rent and your bill to Diamond and Lunar and everything else, and you got your head in the keyboard going, there's no way I'm going to be able to make this payment. I'm not going to be able to pay the utilities this month. And then somebody comes in, or Patreon or something else, and your faith is reestablished. And you're like, okay, I'm going to keep the place open one more month. Okay, I'm going to do this one more month. And then you get kicked in the teeth again with closures or something else. And you're like, I don't think we're going to make it. And then the community comes through again. And you're like, okay. You realize real quick that you're not a business alone. You're Cheers.
We're the
community.
Cheers.
Yeah.
We're the comic book Cheers, where we do. People walk in and we're like, hey, we all know their name, like we know not
Actually, I'm going to tell one more story. This is pretty cool. We had this. I told this to Nemesis and them, so I'll share this with the guys that didn't listen to the podcast. We recommend you listen to the podcast, obviously, in support of them.
The Comic Con podcast.
The Comic Con podcast.
Oh god dang, look at J2.
Yeah.
I do love
yeah. I'll take a
Tuna.
sandwich.
Yo, a tuna sandwich too? Yeah.
So
Yo, J2, close your fucking legs, man.
Got him.
He said it, not
We
me.
have this.
I thought it though.
We have this young man who is mentally disabled, who comes to the shop and talks pretty loud, gets really close, no bubble, but you understand that, okay, he's mentally challenged. He has a guardian that comes with him. And normally he comes on slow days. It'll just be me or it'll be Kevin and we'll talk to him, right? And he showed up on one of our busiest Wednesdays. And this is a kid who normally doesn't get a lot of attention.
Most people don't talk
Most
to
people,
him.
he's invisible to everyone, right? So and remember, he's like legit.
Like you know when you see him that he has some challenges.
Yeah.
Like
so, so he comes up and he says, real
busy,
loud.
like, packed shop.
Yeah, the shop is packed. And real loud, he goes, Lou, do you think if Darth Vader were alive right now, would he be charged with a war crime? He says it real loud.
That's a really deep question.
And bro, people, all of our hardcore Star Wars geeks, all started piping in. And this dude was like going Super Saiyan, like, whoa! Like he was like on his soapbox. Oh my God, people see me. I'm not invisible.
Exactly.
And he got to engage with all these people in this really cool debate. And I mean, it must have lasted an hour, 2 hours in there. It was so awesome.
And he was so elated.
He was smiling from ear to ear. It was his happiest moment in his life.
And just like J2 said, like nobody's invisible in this community. And the fact that this kid came in on the busiest day and that everyone in our shop turned around and made him
feel like a human.
Not just feel like a human, feel like a normal human.
Yeah.
To be a normal guy in a comic shop and to have this debate. We're not talking politics. I'm not talking any of that other stuff. We're talking, is there a war crime with Darth Vader?
And
which 100% it would be.
And let me tell you something. 100%. This is where you got to understand with the shop. When stuff like this happens in the shop, the register stops working because everyone's engaging.
Everyone just stops.
Everyone stops. Somebody's at checkout. It stops. Everything stops because we're all engaged in this conversation. So, and I have some guys that have to go to lunch and stuff. They're like, "Hey, Lou, we'll come back later.
We'll come get our books later.
We'll
just
come
put
get
it
our
back
books
in my
later."
full books.
But we enjoyed this conversation. You know.
Oh, Batmite, I love that. You know what? You have a special place in my heart. Anyone that works with special needs, you guys are, you guys and gals are a breed of your own with a heart second that most people never understand. And I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do so much. I was a teacher for a half a second, realized that wasn't the job for me, and I just appreciate you guys a lot. So there's that.
So yeah, that's our wrap up.
Yeah, that's our wrap up. We love you guys.
Well-
Copy, we adore you, and thank you a lot. Uh-oh.
As someone wise once said, do you guys remember the Jackie Chan show?
Oh,
Jackie Chan.
the animated series?
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, one more thing.
One more
thing.
One
Oh
more
yeah,
thing.
the uncle.
Uncle. Jackie, one more thing. And then he'd go on, and then he'd be like, but wait, one more thing.
I feel like I could do the dude, where's my car? And then
Or like in Billy Madison, he goes A B Day Junior. Okay.
Exactly.
Today, Junior.
I can tell you, let me tell you my favorite biblical joke that I have for you.
Oh,
God.
come on.
It's not that
On a
bad.
Sunday?
On a Sunday. It's actually a really good joke. And it's not dirty, in case anyone's wondering, like ahead of time.
Oh, God.
So there was this church and they were trying to raise money, and how they were going to raise money is people were going to go door to door and they were going to sell Bibles, and they asked people in the congregation, they were like, hey, we're looking for volunteers to go out and sell these Bibles. And all these people raised their hand. They wanted to go. And there was this young man who suffered severely with a stutter. And he said that he wanted to go sell the books for them. And so they were like, oh, that's probably not going to go over so well. But you know what? The Lord's going to be with you. We believe in you. You can go do this. So they give him a thing of books. They come back a week later and they're asking everyone. They're like, how did everyone do? One dude's like, I sold 5 books. Another dude was like, praise Jesus, I sold 10. Another dude was like, oh, I only sold 2. And they get to the stuttering guy. They're like, oh, how many did you sell? And he goes, I sold all of them. And they were like, wait, what? He goes, yeah, I just asked them if they wanted me to read them the book, or if they wanted to buy it right now.
That's good.
I love
like
that
that.
one. And I'm like, that's
That's nice.
it's a good Sunday. You know what? See, Jesus isn't mad at me. Jesus loves me. So that's my stuttering joke with the Bible and Jesus.
Oh, that's cute. But you know what's not so cute? An unpopular opinion.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All my guests that come on, all my first-time guests that come on, I always like to end the show with an unpopular opinion. Everybody has them. We don't like to say them. Why? Because they're unpopular. But you know what? I got a lot of unpopular opinions, and I got no problem telling people. So this is an opportunity for you to do the same thing. It could be about anything. It could be comic book related, or it could just be something that's been grinding your gears for the past day or so. Oh, on that note, let's
Too
have
many
at it.
covers.
Yeah. Can we?
Too many goddamn covers.
And then on top of that, why are we going to have the same artist do 5 on one issue?
It's the most transparent money grab ever.
And ratio variance. Like, don't even, we already talked about ratio variance.
It is just shady as hell.
Yeah. And especially with like things like that. Too many covers, and then you have the ratio variance, which you're going to make sure smaller shops like me don't have a chance in hell of ever getting.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of like our price point, but like, oh, here's the creme de la creme. Oh, here, you can't hang out with us cool kids. Like, fuck you. Yeah. That's how I feel about that.
Some of those I'm going to be honest too. Some of those variant covers and some of those ratios, they look like shit.
Oh, some of them they're ass. They're total ass. And I look at these and I'm like, we paid someone to do this? Literally, all it is a different shade of a color in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
A retailer exclusive is because the retailer, I hope, is just so proud of their shop and their message that they're trying to get something that represents them.
Mm-hmm.
That they can share with their community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Waving their flag. I'm a real comic book shop, man.
Right.
Look at this. The ratio variants and just these. when the publisher is just putting out 8 covers just to be a dick because they're trying to show on paper that they sold more books of the title, and they don't disclose that it was covers A through Z. They just disclose, nope, people love that title.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
And
they
they don't
just
tell
want to
you-
collect all the covers.
They wanted all the covers, and the average person may not be able to purchase 7 covers.
And you have people that want to do, that really want to make that, that collection and have all of them. And then they're like, what do you mean there's 10? Like 10 at $3.99, $4.99, $7.99 a pop. Like, hello, I'm sorry, I don't have a budget for that.
I guess
That's
my
like taking gas.
other unpopular opinion would just be, I don't want Diamond to go out of business. I want them to get better.
Oh, yeah.
I would prefer to have, here's an unpopular opinion. I would prefer to forgive the monopoly status and just purchase from one supplier
It would be easier.
if they didn't shit on the entire community. And
Yeah.
if they actually, if Geppy actually cared about the community and actually treated the books like what they are, collectibles, then I think he would be very successful.
Yeah.
His competitors that are brand new to the distribution game had no problem doing it.
Hugely better.
His staff has had since the late 1980s to perfect this skill set, and they still haven't got it right. But I hope that him being on the verge of bankruptcy, that he would actually consider, wait, maybe I should hire people with comic backgrounds at the warehouse. Maybe I should raise their pay.
I would go back to paying for shipping twice if it meant I could only order from one place.
And I would agree to pay more for the books or a higher percentage if I knew that I was going to get quality, and the extra money that I was paying him was going to his warehouse staff that would now be incentivized to do a good job, because they're being treated like human beings, and they're being trained appropriately. They're being shown, hey, by the way, these books are collectibles and they're valuables. And Junior doesn't want his book looking like you made a paper airplane out of it before it got to him.
It may not be a big deal to you, but that crease that you just did in the spine makes a big difference. And
I really wish I could use our presses for old back issues. On a stack of Bibles to the moon and back, 98%, if not higher, of the books that we throw in our presses are brand new books from Diamond.
Yeah, it's not back issues.
We
that
have
we're cleaning and
2
pressing.
presses. We have one press that could only do one book at a time, because we did not believe for a second that we would ever be dealing with Diamond, that we would just be pressing these back issues from the 1970s and 80s that reasonably would have creases or whatever.
Of course.
And then I had to buy another larger press so that I could knock out 2 books at a time, because we found out that our distributor was sending us easily 15% of books, in some cases, damaged.
And then telling us that we were the assholes for trying to be like, hey, these are damaged. Oh, no, you can press that out. We're a small fucking shop. Do you know how long it takes?
No, they don't say you can press that out. They never said that term. They say it's readable.
Readable, which they know we have to
They
press
don't.
it.
They don't say the term. They don't say the term press.
But they know we can't sell it unless it's gonna. They know we can't sell it in the condition that it is. Like it's readable, but they know that the people are collectors and they're not gonna buy one where the one edge is all curved in, because they couldn't alternate how they stack the books, because that's apparently really big science.
And I've seen that too. I've seen books come into my local LCS, and sometimes I'll see a stack, because I go to the biggest shop. As a dichotomy, you guys being a small shop, I go to the biggest shop in Long Island. This is the one. They have every fucking book. They have every book. They have every independent book. They have every cover. They got fucking everything. So they get a big shipment just from Diamond. They'll get like 5 boxes for one
Mhm.
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see a stack. I'm going to move back. This high. And you'll just see one side. Like, I have a book. I'll use this as the example just because it's the first thing near me. This right over here from about, I'd say like about, like this is just bent inward like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And it is so bad. And I asked him about that one time. I'm like, why is it like this? I'm like, what is going on? Oh, it's just damage from shipping. I said, really? I'm like, how many are there? He goes, about 50. That's 75.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, and the LCS you go to, you and Lewis, both, you guys go to the same one. That's the one
Yes.
that Snyder goes to a lot, right?
That is correct. Actually, that
Because
is
I saw that picture with you guys, and I was like, "Whoa, hey!"
that is Scott Snyder's LCS. He came by there for Free Comic Book Day.
That's so awesome.
So did the Batmobile. I ended up
I
chatting
saw
up.
that. That was so cool.
I chatted with the guy that was the Batmobile for literally 45 minutes, I'd say.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
But
Mm-mm-mm.
good dude. Good dude. Absolutely awesome. You know, it helps to have a relationship with him. I'm at the point now, thank God, where, knock on wood, he actually knows my name. So, like, I'll hopefully I go to New York, I'll be able to, skip the line a little bit. Isn't that right? Yes. So,
But does he call you Copy or
no, he calls me Rob.
Rob?
Because he doesn't know. I asked him about an interview, actually, and he's like, yeah, sure, but we'll have to wait until next year because he's busy with his Best Jacket Press and all his other stuff. So he the only reason why he's doing New York Comic Con, I asked him that. I'm like, why are you doing Comic Con? He goes, it's the biggest convention, and I kind of need the. He goes, it's the biggest convention, and I can showcase stuff. So it's like,
Right.
Mhm.
No, 100%. If you ever give him to shout us out, like legitimately, I'll be in your debt forever. So.
Oh no, I'm gonna try and do that. I just have to catch him at a good time. I went there once. He was with his son, so I can't really do that.
No, 100%.
Then it was Free Comic Book Day, and I'm like, I don't know about that because there's
busy.
a bunch of people.
Busy.
Did you see the line of people?
No, that was insane. That was awesome.
Fuck, hundreds of people. 100 people.
Yeah,
Went down
that was
like
awesome.
200 feet. It was.
Loved
And
it.
I'm gonna see if I can have him do that over in. And I'm serious. I'm gonna see if I can have him do that at New York Comic Con. Just do a quick record. Just be like, hey, can you shout out an LCS that I know? I'll be like, yo, 5 seconds. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. But I'm gonna see.
Awesome.
I'm
You
gonna see if he
motherfuckers
can
go
do
shop
that.
at Aegis Comics of Alaska. The end. No, just kidding.
Exactly. I'm gonna see if we can do that. And yeah, and if you want, I will extend this for you guys. If you want to send me anything that you want signed, because Scott Snyder will be here, Greg Capullo will be here.
Oh wow! Yeah,
All right.
They're together.
That's good
So
to
they're
know.
gonna
That's how many weeks do we have until con?
October 9th.
October 9th. Okay. We may or may not be able to get stuff put together by then, but yeah, I appreciate that very much. That is very generous of you.
Yeah, if you want anything signed from him,
Perfect.
he will not mind at all.
That's so dope.
That's super cool. Wait, rib. Oh, sorry. I thought Uncle Rudy was talking about ribs, and I was like, "Ooh, ribs for dinner sound delicious," because it's dinner time here. So.
Oh yeah, it's dinner time for you. It is 11:15 for me.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna wrap this up. Copy.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you for having us on. I'm so sorry that we were late. It was just a comedy of errors trying to get everything fixed.
No worries.
Glad we got everything fixed. Though.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you do for us and our channel and our shop. Like, you are truly, genuinely just a wonderful person, and we adore you. We love you very much, my friend.
Oh
Thank
no,
you.
you guys are completely awesome.
You ever want to come visit Alaska,
everlasting
you got a
thanks.
place to stay. You 100% have a place to stay here, Rob. Like 100%.
Well, I appreciate that. Me and the girl talk a lot about cool places to go, and I brought up Alaska before, and she starts laughing. So she starts laughing. She's like, "What do you want?" She's like, "Why do you want to go there?" I'm like, "Well, you see, I like the cold, and there's this comic shop there too."
There
and she's
is.
like, and she just gives me this look, just.
Otto was able to convince his family, and now a family who was like, "Why are we going to Alaska?" Not only do his 3 children and his wife all say Alaska is in their top 3 places they've ever been, and they've been to a lot of different places. So I'm just saying, we're pretty awesome.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. And I hope to see you guys going all the way around YouTube again. And congratulations again on the big 1,000 subscriber milestone.
Thank you. And I got to give one more shout out to Lewis, Shadow Rabbit Clay Guy. We put our display that he made us. We have our figurines on display for everyone to come over here. He's good dude right there. He's good people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Lewis is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
he is awesome. Absolutely wonderful. Really cool guy. We're probably going to be making the I don't know if we're going to be going over to Comic-Con together, but we're definitely going to be hanging out when we get there. So
right on.
Nice.
That's
right on. Well, you guys have a good time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And everybody have a good night, and we will all catch you later.
All right.